over 30 years, the Wintrust family of community banks has focused on serving our neighborhoods, where innovation meets community, tailoring our services to meet the needs of our local customers. We provide an alternative solution to the big banks by developing niche expertise to strengthen local businesses. We invest in our communities and value our dedicated, growing team of employees. Visit one of our nearby locations and see what all the talk is about for yourself. Wintrust, serving our community for over 30 years.
How dependable is your power? As dependable as 2 a.m. wake-up calls, Grandpa showing up an hour early, and perfect timing. Because you can count on ComEd to keep the lights on and keep you informed. So your electric service is as dependable as sleepless nights.
At Gallagher, our tailored insurance, risk management, and consulting solutions help to create value for businesses large and small. As neighbors, friends, and trusted partners in the heart of communities across the globe, we're here to celebrate the good times and help you through the challenges. It's the Gallagher way. For more than 90 years, we've listened and learned, helped businesses grow, communities thrive, and people prosper, helping you face your future with confidence.
Empire Today here to show you the easiest way to get new floors. Shop at home. Empire brings samples to you. Hundreds of options. Carpet, hardwood, tile, vinyl, and laminate. We'll help you pick the right floor and measure your rooms for free. You'll get a price estimate for your entire job, and you can even finance it right on the spot. It's that easy. Shop for floors at home. That's Empire Today.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
For over 30 years, the Wintrust family of community banks has focused on serving our neighborhoods, where innovation meets community, tailoring our services to meet the needs of our local customers. We provide an alternative solution to the big banks by developing niche expertise to strengthen local businesses. We invest in our communities and value our dedicated, growing team of employees. Visit one of our nearby locations and see what all the talk is about for yourself. Wintrust, serving our community for over 30 years.
Welcome to this year's annual Better Business Bureau Torch Award ceremony. As past recipients of the Torch Award, we recognize its significance. This award embodies the Better Business Bureau's mission of advancing trust in the marketplace. Today, we celebrate those who raise the bar and set the new standard for marketplace ethics. All of us at Fox Valley Auto Group would like to congratulate this year's award recipients and thank the Better Business Bureau for its continued guidance.
This room is full of the innovators and entrepreneurs who are going to follow their moral compass.
We all agree the importance of integrity in our business.
This award represents the ethical foundation and dedication on which a company builds itself.
For over a century, the Better Business Bureau has been an exemplary standard bearer in holding businesses accountable and promoting trust, ethics, and performance in the marketplace for the benefit of consumers.
That's why we're particularly proud of our 45 years of accreditation with the Better Business Bureau, whose mission it is to be the leader in advancing marketplace trust. By delivering on that trust, we know we're doing right by our customers, our employees, and our business partners.
To hear that it is about ethics and integrity is truly humbling. On behalf of my grandfather, my father, my sister, and our family, thank you very much.
This Torch Award will further serve as motivation for us to continue to be the best that we can be.
Thank you very much for this recognition. It's much appreciated, and we are very honored to accept the BBB's Torch Award.
And I'm accepting the award this afternoon, not just as the owner, I'm accepting this on behalf of my team. We are definitely never going to ask ourselves which is more important, standards of excellence or excellence of character. You can have both, and every single person in this room is a testament to that.
Please welcome the President and CEO of the Better Business Bureau, Steve Bernas.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Just watching those videos, it feels so proud, not only what the BBB does, but all the people that have been here for the previous Torch Awards, all the winners that have been here before and helped support this event. We all have the same core values of trust, integrity, and honesty. For over 25 years, we've had winners, great companies like you. We're here happy to celebrate with you and very honored that you're here today. On that note, I'd like to welcome everybody to our 26th annual Torch Awards Events Ethics Luncheon. And for the first time in 3 years, a live event. 3 years, let's go. For the first time, we also have a live stream of this. So this actually is being streamed all across the U.S. as well. The winners, we're having watch parties, employees. So we want to welcome all the people that are streaming this event live for us. Thank you for joining us today as well. Again, for those who don't know me, I'm Steve Bernas. I've been with the organization just a short period of time. I just started my 35th year at the BBB, so very honored and proud. Our prestigious Torch Award for Ethics is not a popularity contest. It is a testament to businesses who do the right thing, each and every one of you. Trust will always be the cornerstone of good business practices. As you know, any good business leader knows, ethics is not a statement. Ethics is an action, a deed, a philosophy of driving somebody to do the right thing. You will hear from some great companies today who continue to do great things, and we're proud of each and every one of them. We'd like to get the award ceremony underway shortly, but first I'd like to acknowledge the torch judges we've had. If I could ask them to please stand and bow, and thank you so much for all you do. Without you, we couldn't be. So please, our Torch Award judges, thank you so much. They volunteer their time, and we're so proud of them. I'd like to thank some of our key sponsors for supporting this event, who make this all possible. Our gold sponsors, ComEd, Discover Financial Services, Empire Today, Fox Valley Auto Group, and Gallagher Insurance. I'd like to thank our media sponsors today, of course. ABC7, our board member Teresa Ricks is here. Our great partners with NBC, I saw them over here. Jill Fields, our board member. WGN Radio and our board member Mary Sandberg Boyle. And last but not certainly least, the great coverage of WGN TV Channel 9 and our board member Earl Gerber. Thank you so much. Our media partners prevent us coverage this year so far. 50 million viewers listened to some of the BBB stories. Thanks to our media partners. We're very thankful for that. A special thanks to our platinum sponsor and 3-time Torch Award winner, the Inland Real Estate Group, all in front of here. Thank you so much for your continued support. And also, I'd like all of our board members to we have about 35 board members here today. I'd like to say a quick thank you to our board members. Please stand up and be recognized. Thank you for your support. Without our board members, our leaders of our organization, we couldn't do what we want. I thank you so much. Every year, I double their salary. Every year. And I never get a thank you. Well, we don't pay them anything, so double of zero is zero. And finally, I'd like to thank our presenting sponsor, Wintrust Financial, and welcome them to the stage right now. Wintrust took our Torch Award winner last year. Congratulations, Paul. Thank you so much. Paul is the Chief Operating Officer, Market Head, Commercial Banking, and BBB Board Member, Paul Carlisle. Thank you.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you very much, Steve. It's really a pleasure to be back here in person and to be the presenting sponsor here today. We're very proud also to be a 2021 Torch Award winner. When you look at the roster of past companies that have won the Torch Award, when you look at some of the presentations that were on the video earlier, it is a prestigious club. Day in and day out, we strive to be an organization that lives out the Torch Award values. An organization where employees are always in service to their communities and where we see true relationship banking in action. Businesses and consumers want to work with companies that are fair, honest, and ethical, and we believe our Torch Award tells our communities and our customers that we are one of those companies, and we are committed to walking that talk every day. Enough about us. Without further ado, it's a real pleasure to introduce you to our speaker today, Pete Kadens from Hope, Chicago. Pete has been a very successful Chicago entrepreneur for decades, but his most recent accomplishment has captured the hearts and minds of millions of people. He earned international media attention, including a long, uplifting segment on 60 Minutes, where Pete started fulfilling the dreams of underserved students by paying for full ride scholarships. His organization is out to provide 30,000 college scholarships, 30,000 over the next 10 years. I think the 60 Minutes program said it best. It is an act of kindness so big, it's almost impossible to believe. Please give a warm welcome to Pete.
Thank you so much, Paul and Steve and Tom and everyone from the Better Business Bureau. Thank you for having me here. I'm really excited to be here. Can everyone hear me okay? No feedback? There was some feedback in the last speaker, so I'm going to try and eliminate that if I can. Great to be here today, as I said. One little anecdote on my way here. I always like to call my great Aunt Sandy, who's 102, when I'm about to give speeches. It's like my superstition, and she always reminds me that her little joke is, she's so old that her social security number is 3 digits. But today she said something a little more interesting, which is that she said, "Where are you going to speak today?" And I said, "I'm going to speak to the Better Business Bureau." And she said, "Why would the Better Business Bureau want a drug dealer to speak to them?" And you start to lose your filter a little bit when you get to 100, I suppose. But Aunt Sandy was never a big fan of my old profession. But in addition to being a drug dealer, I've had the good fortune of starting 6 businesses in this community. Employed over 4,000 Chicagoans, and I'm just so dang proud of what we're doing here to make the lives of our community members better. And I love the fact that the Torch Awards, as we talked about earlier, is focused on ethics. If I remember correctly, it's focused on character, culture, customers, and community. And I noticed an intentional lack of terminology around financial performance. It's not about revenue or profit or margins, because frankly, those are table stakes, and we know that. If you aren't generating revenue and profit, you're not going to be in business. Making money is easy in my experience. Doing well by doing good, paying attention to your employees, paying attention to the things that matter, getting employees out of poverty, and doing that at the same time while balancing profitability, That's a lot harder. So I'm just pleased to be here to speak into a group of employers who really care about the things that matter in this community. Now, as much as I would like to go into my business journey over the last 20 years, I have an important message today that is not really about business. I'd like to start with one phrase that I don't know, I think I coined it, but who knows. I always like to say that the more generous I am, the wealthier I become. As I work through my speech and you get bored and start thinking about your next meeting and how you're going to pick up your kids with the Zoom call you have, and as I pour my heart and soul out up here, just remember that one line. The more generous I am, the wealthier I become. And I don't just mean wealthier in the Pollyanna-ish love and life sense. I do mean that. But I actually mean the more generous I am, the wealthier I become in my bank account too. I've seen it. I've lived that. If you live here in Chicago, we have a couple things in common. A, we hate the really nasty cold days like yesterday. And B, in the summer, we love the lake. We love the water here in Chicago. And we what? And we hate the Packers. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. It's going to be a win this weekend. I grew up near Toledo, Ohio, on the banks of Lake Erie. And today, I live on Lake Michigan. The water is such a big part of our identity here in this community. And for those of us who grew up near water, we have bonds that transcend pruny-skinned hands and a nagging case of swimmer's ear. Swimming in the lake on a hot summer day makes you realize that in the water, we're all equal. I just saw kids when I was swimming in the pool. It didn't matter who our parents were or how rich they were or where we went to school. We were the same. We splashed our sisters, dunked our friends, started games with total strangers just by closing our eyes and yelling the word Marco. Very good. I like that. One of my earliest and most defining memories was of water. When I was 7 years old, my father, who was a professor at the University of Toledo, was granted an academic sabbatical to study economic development in developing countries around the world. We visited 20 countries. I was off school for a year. We saw everything a kid could possibly want to see: the Parthenon in Athens, Red Army soldiers marching in lockstep in communist Red China, where my dad had received an academic exemption, and probably the most distressing moment of the trip, when an old lady sneezed on my ice cream cone in the Vatican City. Now, around the world trip seems pretty fancy for a 7-year-old kid, but it's mostly waking up too early, walking too much, and listening to adults drone on about stuff that happened too long ago. But a trip like that inspires a lot of questions in a young kid. And there was one question I always asked my parents whenever we were en route to a new destination. The question was, will there be kids there? That question's vital. It's way more important than needing to know how many stones were built the pyramids or which king stole which castle from another king. And I'll never forget the kids I saw in Bangkok. This is 1985, so Bangkok was not the contemporary city it is today. We're traveling down a canal in a flatbed canoe called a klong. The kids around my age were playing about 30 feet up canal from me in the water. In any other universe, I would have begged to have jumped in with those kids. I wanted to play with kids. But the water they were splashing and playing in, despite the fact that they looked like they were having fun, it looked like sewage-laden chocolate milk. Trash was floating everywhere. Right before we got to the kids who were my age, the man paddling our klong used his oar to kind of push away a dead dog that was floating down the canal, too close to our canoe. The kids played yards from where they slept and ate in tar paper shanties on the muddy banks of the canal. My second grade brain couldn't quite process exactly how people could be this poor. I asked my dad why. But it was much more accusatory than that. What I meant was, why haven't adults done something about these poor kids playing in the dirty, dead dog water? And no one does moral outrage like a 7-year-old. In fact, I would say our Hope Chicago donors are pretty lucky that I can't clone my 7-year-old P.D. Kadens and to work over their guilt complexes. I do not have to tell any of the employers in this room about the power of a promise. You make promises every day to your employers, to your investors, to your stakeholders. and you have to live up to it. I did the same thing when I was a CEO for 18 years. But I made a promise to myself at age 7 in that moment. I swore that whatever advantages I had in life, I would give back to kids like those kids in the dirty dead dog water who didn't have those advantages, and I was going to live up to it like you all as CEOs and employers. As I grew, my passion grew. I became anthropologically fascinated with poverty. My first substantial investment was in homelessness. I served as the chairman of the board of Streetwise here in Chicago for 10 years, one of the largest homeless aid agencies in this community. I was privileged to become friends with many of the members of the homeless community, but 2 recurring issues kept coming up. Number 1, too many people of color were in jail or formerly incarcerated for doing something that I know I never would have been incarcerated for. And number 2, an egregious but all too common roadblock in the path out of poverty was quality access to education. I knew I wanted to do more with these things, but I'm impatient, and the regulatory process is slow, and while I do believe the criminal justice system continues to need further reform, that takes time. And yet, a crop of seniors graduates from high school every single year. So I decided that was going to be my mission. I started an organization called Hope Toledo in my hometown of Toledo, Ohio. It was my first foray into educational access. I started with 120 students, all black, all below the poverty line. My family foundation paid in full tuition, room and board, books and fees for any one of those 120 kids who got accepted to a 2-year, 4-year, or trade school. And because I'm dyslexic and my brain works a little bit differently than most, I like to zig when people are zagging. I did something a little bit different. I did something a little bit nuanced. I realized that poverty is multidimensional, and it's also multi-generational. And so what I decided to do is I decided to pay for one of their parents to go to college or trade school as well. And by the way, just as an aside, I think I told you that the high school was called Scott High School, where I did this in Toledo, Ohio. Any fans of the show The Office here? All right, well, this is amazing. There's some wacky people in this world. But you remember Scott's Tots? All right, he goes up, and in 3rd grade, he tells all these kids that they're going to get to go to college for free. And then when it gets to senior year and they're ready to go to college, he tells them he can't afford that, but instead he's buying he bought them a battery pack for their computers, right? You would not believe the comment section of the local news articles that wrote about what I was doing. Every single person said I was an imposter, this was a Scott's Tots hoax. Because remember, the name of the high school I picked was Scott High School. So, anyways, I'm $4 million in, so those are some expensive batteries. Now remember, just to level set, this is an atrocious statistic, and one I'm not proud of, and one no one in this room should be proud of. 45% of first-generation black students show up at a college campus, a 4-year college campus, and do not retain to sophomore year. How anyone in this room can think that's acceptable. I don't believe anyone in this room believes that can be acceptable. By contrast, if we get these kids at the end of sophomore year, the likelihood they'll graduate from college is about 85%. So with that as a backdrop, our first cohort at Scott High School in Toledo, Ohio, they're now in the 3rd year of the program. They're now juniors. Of those at 4-year colleges, 70% have continued with their education. Remember, their affinity group, 45% of them dropped out before even sophomore year. That's almost equal to the national average of 71% retention and persistence. In my mostly white suburban school district, I think the wealthiest school district in the state of Illinois, the college persistence of the kids there is 80%. This means they start and they graduate within 6 years at an 80% clip. At Scott High School, where every single kid is black and every single kid is operating below the poverty line, it is the most underserved school in the entire state of Ohio. The kids who went to college with mom or dad, which is a pretty sizable cohort, those kids are persisting and retaining at an 80% clip, outpacing their white suburban contemporaries. This illustrates a point I always set out to illustrate. Folks, there is no intellectual gap. There is no talent gap. There is only an equity and access gap. And that And that is what we're working to address. And that's why educating our underserved community is so important. Once Hope Toledo was working, I decided that was kind of my appetizer. And I decided Hope Chicago was my entree. The timing was perfect because the woman who I believe is the most talented educator in the history of this city, Dr. Janice Jackson, had just announced that she was going to be leaving her post as the CEO of Chicago Public Schools. She was a lifelong educator, youngest person ever to become principal in the Chicago Public Schools at the age of 25. In fact, when I was interviewed on 60 Minutes, Scott Pelley, who's a fantastic reporter, he asked me, he said, Pete, how long was it before after Dr. Jackson announced she was leaving CPS before you reached out to her to talk to her about the job at Hope Chicago? And I said, Scott, I mean, it must have been at least 5 or 10 minutes. And yes, she's that good, and yes, we're that lucky to have her here in Chicago. So with Dr. Jackson, we take Hope Toledo to the next level here in our home community. Our first class of multi-generational students, like Toledo, will support educational access for 4,100 families. This makes this the largest place-based scholarship program in the entire country. Our goal over the next decade, as Paul said, is to advance education for 30,000 families. I didn't say individuals, I said families, which is an important distinction. Again, we fund tuition, room and board, books and fees, and a full suite of wraparound services, including financial literacy, helping them establish credit, college preparation. Sending kids to college with a bunch of money doesn't work. Sending kids to college with a bunch of tender love and care and a bunch of education about how college works and paying for their tuition, room and board is what works. It's called the wraparound model, and that's what we're good at Hope Chicago. In addition to doing that, we learned some lessons from Hope Toledo. We found a common factor among students discontinuing their education was an occurrence of a relatively marginal financial bill, a $500 bill to repair your car, bereavement leave to go to a grandparent's funeral, a $350 medical bill. This is unacceptable. Kids should not be dropping out of college because of that. We're building a program to help these kids overcome a lifetime of systemic disadvantages. I'll be damned if we're going to allow them to drop out of school because of an ordinary life issue like a $350 medical bill. That's not happening on my watch. So what we're doing, thank you. What we're doing in Hope Chicago a little bit different is they get a $1,000 spending stipend, and they also get access to emergency funds. And they have a hotline they can call such that when they do run into trouble and their phone breaks or they need gas money or whatever it is, we're there for them. That cannot be a reason for them to discontinue their education. It's in our first year. Our first cohort just started in the fall. And I would say the results are, like they were in Toledo, very encouraging. Of the 5 high schools, we're in the 5 of the most underserved high schools in the city of Chicago, about 50% Black, 50% Latinx. We've seen an enrollment increase of 33% across those 5 high schools in post-secondary education. And a very interesting increase in folks who had a GPA from 2.0 to 2.5. And that cohort of kids from a 2.0 to 2.5, a 50% increase in kids who enrolled in college. Now, this is the group that falls between the cracks. This is the one that's important, and that's the one I'm so proud of. So we need programs like Hope Chicago to give these kids space to dream. We're like the lighthouse in the harbor. It serves as the beacon by which the kids can guide their journey, but also they can know that others have made this journey before them. At the same time, I do believe we also need to address fundamental and systemic issues in our education system. Too many young people are doomed before programs like ours can meet them where they're at. That's because funding disparities from one zip code to the next have the result of picking winners and losers before your kids even get to kindergarten. Let me give you an example of those disparities in action, as how I was first exposed to them. I was a pretty good high school basketball player. Matt Stocken is here, he can attest to that. And I know that might be hard to believe because I'm like a 5'9" Jewish kid from Toledo, but believe it or not, I was a decent basketball player, good enough to play college ball. I know the pressure of playing when college scouts were at the game. And to be clear, they weren't at the game to watch me, but they were at the game to watch the blue ribbon 5-star prospects on the other team. But I got an opportunity as well. For me, it was an opportunity. For the kid on the other team, it was a much higher table stakes issue. I already knew I was going to college. Mom went to college, dad went to college, siblings went to college. For the prospect on the other team, this might have been his one shot. And it wasn't just about him. There's a good chance he'd be the first in his family, the foot in the door for social mobility. If he went to college, it's more likely that his brother and sister were to go to college. In fact, the American Sociological Association says there is nothing more important in terms of who goes to college than what your older siblings do. Way more important than what your parents do in terms of education. It's a lot of pressure on a teenager, though. All the student athlete has to do is post a triple-double one night when the scouts are in the house and he can go to college. The truth is we all benefit from education. Educated is better. Don't you want your cardiologist to be educated? Yeah, you do. Or when you go to Florida in a couple weeks for your winter break, what about the surfer dude who's attaching the clip to your parasail? I want him to be educated too. Educated is always better. When your sister-in-law goes to culinary school, your family wins. When a kid from the neighborhood becomes an OBGYN, your community wins. The same is true for every English major, drama student, business major, just as it is true for my second grader who's learning the state capitals right now and the PhD astronomer who's learning about new galaxies. Your neighbor's 2-year nursing degree, it might save your life one day. Education is power. And repressive governments like Myanmar and Afghanistan prove that to us because they don't want women to get educated. And there is nothing more that a tyrannical man fears than an educated woman. Here in America, we don't block kids from attending school like they do in Afghanistan, but we block the funds that the schools need to operate. Many public schools are funded exclusively by property taxes, so urban schools are left behind while wealthier, more middle-class people move to the suburbs. Meanwhile, suburban districts are flush with cash and have the rising tax bases to build modern new schools and hire the best teachers. There was, in fact, an essay last month in the New York Times by a Brown University economist, and he looked at the impact of public education on a student's trajectory throughout life. He found that if your child's zip code is in the bottom fifth of economic prosperity, they have a 1 in 13 chance of making it to the top fifth of prosperity over the course of their life. If your child is black and male, that number goes to 1 in 40. For context, by the way, the top fifth earners in America make $97,000 a year. We're not talking second homes and private jets here, folks. We're talking middle class. Yet a young black man like the kid I play basketball with has a 1 in 40 chance of attaining that. And can you believe that that same kid has a 1 in 4 chance of becoming incarcerated? That's why I do not think I'm overstating it when I say that the American education system is designed to pick winners and losers before our kids even learn the words to the wheels on the bus. My solution is that higher quality schools should not be focused on just property tax revenue. We need to somehow decouple school funding from property taxes and make the formula more equitable so schools without the property tax revenue can get the best teachers and build the best schools. I also happen to believe that with the right funding, we can refocus our curricular efforts on matriculating from grade to grade being based not on age but on learning competence. I can promise you if we did that, if we had the resources to do that, it would completely alter our education system forever. And the best news of all, we know this works. In Kalamazoo, Michigan, city of 80,000 people, very minority dense, many underserved. In 2015 and 2005, they started a program called the Kalamazoo Promise, where every kid in the Kalamazoo public school system can go to college in Michigan for free. It was the inspiration for me at Hope Toledo and then subsequently at Hope Chicago. Since the program began, more than 3,000 scholars have gone to college and earned degrees. This would be notable enough to declare a success in and of itself. But add to that the rapid and continued increase in public school enrollment. Kalamazoo, Michigan, kind of odd, is the only public school system in the Midwest that is growing. Why? Well, because when you go there, you go to college for free. Guess what? Kalamazoo City is one of the only cities in America, urban communities, at least in the Midwest, that is growing. Why? Because they created a demand driver. When you move to Kalamazoo, your kids go to college for free. And one other thing, poverty is down 5 times more in Kalamazoo over the last decade, according to the latest census, than it is across the United States and Michigan. Why? Because people are getting educated and they're returning to that community. But here's where it comes home to roost for you employers. You may not believe me when I say this, and if you're going to walk out of here and say you think I'm an ass, this is probably why. You may think that this statement is total rubbish. If you don't invest as employers in skilling up and educate your future employees, I'm not talking about your current employees, I'm not talking about the kids you're recruiting today who are seniors in college. I'm talking about your future employees, the kids 4, 7, 10 years down the road. If you don't invest in them, you're going to have a massive underemployment issue in your company in the next 10 years. And if you don't believe me, there are many more reputable sources that are talking about this. According to a massive study done by Korn Ferry, in fact, the largest study they have ever conducted, called Global Talent Crunch, which they basically said the current talent shortage in this globally is 85 million people, 85 million jobs, skilled jobs, will not be filled in the year 2030. 85 million. Of those, 10 million will be here in the US. We will miss out on $8.7 trillion in economic opportunity because we won't have people to fill our jobs. In the tech industry alone, between now and 2030, the tech industry will miss out on $662 billion of revenue because we won't have the people to do our jobs. That is because we haven't yet invested in the kids who need to get to college and trade school so that they can fill these jobs. We need to do that as a community. We need to do that here in Chicago. This is the best investment we can make as companies and employers. So I'll thank you. I'm going to end for allowing me to spend time with you today. I realize this has probably been a slight deviation from maybe what you anticipated, someone who gets up here and talks purely about business. I hope you find a way to get your kids to school and manage the Zoom meeting with all the other stuff. But speaking of kids, this brings me back to where I started, with the one question that I said was really important. Will there be kids there? And as we look across the college and post-secondary landscape in Illinois over the next decade, the people of the wider Chicago community will rightfully ask, will our Chicago kids be there? And you can tell them yes, but only if us adults do something about it. Thank you.
Please stay up for 1 second. What a wonderful presentation. Thank you so much for joining us today. Inspirational. I also want to congratulate Pete. He won the Innovation Award last month as well. Congratulations. We have one little surprise. I'd like to bring up the chairman of the Educational Foundation of the Better Business Bureau, Mr. Alan Rodriguez.
Thank you, Steve. And it's good afternoon, everyone, and it's great to all see you again, as Steve mentioned, 3 years later. So every year, on behalf of the BBB Educational Foundation, we have the honor of awarding $2,500 scholarships to scholars that are underserved students. This is largely possible because of your support in this room. And remember that the BBB Educational Foundation, during this holiday season, please remember it in terms of your personal and organizational year-end giving. We appreciate your generosity. Clearly, as highlighted by Pete today, Hope Chicago is magical with the impact of what they're creating and their opportunities to serve. This is an exciting day for us today because the BBB Educational Foundation voted unanimously, our board, to also give a special gift to Hope Chicago to help you continue on with your efforts. So, should I get it now? What do you think? Well, hold on a second. It's a big check. At least it looks that way, doesn't it? So we're presenting Pete and Hope Chicago with a $2,500 check, similar to what our foundation does for our scholars, but I just now noticed it's not signed. It only has one signature, requires two. I guess I wanted to be sure that Pete said the right things up here before I signed it. You know?
Is Wintrust going to cash it for me?
Watch it, Wintrust might do more and double it.
They already have.
They already have. So let's thank you again, and on behalf of the BBB Foundation, for Steve and Hope Chicago.
I forgot to mention earlier, you have raffle tickets or door prizes on your table. Please fill them out. It's for one $250 gift card at App Electronics. And the second one is a Mexico trip to Cancun, courtesy of Apple Vacation. So I suggest you please fill those out. Several of the people in here have won it before, and it's a phenomenal trip to Cancun. So please take a look at that when you get a chance. In a couple of minutes, we're away from the new Torch Award winners, but first, we have a couple of quick announcements. Yesterday, our international office had the International Torch Awards, and we're so fortunate. One of our previous winners here is Tim Check from Integrated Project Management was a finalist. So, Tim, thank you so much, and please stand up and have your team stand up. What a wonderful thing. Also, we'd like to thank our board member, Joe White from Clear Channel Outdoor. He has agreed to run digital boards, there they are, all across Chicago for the next 2 weeks for all the winners tonight. Thank you, Joe White from Clear Channel Outdoor. Again, please fill out your raffle tickets. We'll be doing this at the end of the presentation. Now, for one of my favorite announcements of years, please help me welcome our friend, our buddy, Hosea Sanders from ABC7. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I've got an extra page on my thing, buddy.
We'll read.
We'll read together.
You call, I come. That's the way it's always been.
Yeah, I'd like to
give me some accolades.
How you doing? How was Thanksgiving? Good? Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Now I give him a turkey.
No, turkey. We have a special surprise. I'd like to share some great news about Hosea Sanders. I would ask to have some of the ABC7 colleagues to please join me on stage who wanted to be here today. See, look. Hosea, you've been a trusted partner and a big friend of the Better Business Bureau. For me personally, for over 20 years, the Better Business Bureau Torch Awards for 15 years. This is your 15th year of the emceeing the BBB Torch Awards. We cannot thank you enough for all your dedication and your hard work to your organization. Every time we call you and ask you for your assistance, you always answer the call. We know you're having some struggles, and you're still here today to help us out. We thank you for coming out today as well. Today, we begin a new tradition at the Better Business Bureau. This will change the BBB history. It will live on for years. We have created a Torch Award Hall of Fame award for legends of our Torch Awards, and our first recipient is Hosea Sanders. It is my honor and privilege to give you this award, the first recipient of this. Thank you so much for everything you've done, buddy.
Steve said say something. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say other than I have had the incredible gift. Oh, by the way, I'm meteorologist Tracy Butler. Thank you. I've had the incredible gift to work with and know Hosea for many years. I, quite frankly, always referred to him as my older brother, and I'll never let him forget that. We've had some amazing, amazing times together. We have shared some incredibly difficult and challenging times in our lives, but he is truly one of the most incredible people I have ever worked with. And if you watch your TV set and you see somebody and you think, I think I could be his buddy, this is the guy. Because you know what? I have never met a person who didn't just adore this man, including myself. Thank you, Steve, and your board for recognizing him. Believe me, he is a gentleman who deserves every accolade that any one of you can dish out.
You're my older brother, too, even if it's only by 6 months. Jose is so deserving of this award. I love you so much. He is so deserving of this award. The work that he does tirelessly to benefit other people, other communities, children, animals. I can't even begin to list all the things that he does because of his good heart. And that's all I really wanted to say. I was so delighted to be here, and I couldn't wait to see the look on his face when we surprised him. I love you, Jose.
Good afternoon, surprise. And I just want to say thank you to Steve, the Better Business Bureau. This is an A+ for you for making the decision to celebrate Jose. So thank you so much, and congratulations, Jose. Love you too, Jose.
I'm not going to do it. So. A torch is light. You are light. You can put out the fire, but never the flame. Keep burning, keep soaring, keep lighting up the night sky in all the darkness with your greatness, your glory, your faith, your strength, your resilience. You are what we hope to be. You are Hope Chicago. Chicago loves you, and we all hope to be what you are. So thank you, Steve. Thank you to ABC7 for allowing us this blessing to work the honor and the pleasure to work with this man every day. And we are grateful. And each day you start your day with an attitude of gratitude. And that is how you got here today. Your best medicine in all your challenge is hope, deliverance, and the belief in the power that God has something greater for you in the coming days. Your best is yet to come. Keep burning that light, the Torch Award. You are the first because you continue to lead the way, the path, the glory for all of us. So thank you, Steve. We love you. And thank you all for honoring our brother. He is my big brother, too. With pride and gratitude of that, because somebody didn't wake up today. So if you keep adding years, that means we do too. May God continue to bless you with many more awards. Jose, we love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
For those who are interested, we did get an unbreakable one just in case. Congratulations.
Did you see that? Almost. Oh, my goodness. And I was all set to roast Steve. Looking for Alan to slide me something from up under that table. I am incredibly blessed, honored to be here without all this, without my family being here, the BBB family has taken me under their wing and just supported me and lifted me up, and I'm just so proud to be associated with this organization, which does so much good for our area. I called Steve my brother from another mother, and I was looking at this as a family reunion with all of us here. But it's even more close. It's the intimate, not even cousins. These are brothers and sisters up here. I'm shocked beyond measure. It's been a long time since we've all gathered together under one tent, as they say. We've had some wins and some losses. Steve, for example, lost his beautiful mom. That was tough for us. I lost my mom and my brother, who are usually here with me for this. So we've all, and most of us, or many of us, have suffered through COVID or know somebody who has. And as an extra cherry on top, my cancer came back. So this is really touching me because, as many of you know right now, I'm undergoing my third cancer battle right now, right in the middle of the chemo treatment. That's what really happened to the hair, you know, it's the chemo. So, and if I were to drop something, Steve, don't blame it on my clumsiness, blame it on the medication this time. It's all about the medication. So thank you so much for this. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Thank you for all the prayers that we all do for each other. I'm just incredibly moved by this. I know we have a limited time, so this is not supposed to be something about me, but I just want to say thank you to all of you for taking your time to listen to my family. Thank you to Steve and the board for this honor, and it's just a joy to be a part of the greater Chicago and Northern Illinois area, serving our people, serving our public, our viewers, which of course, once again, is serving our family. Thank you so much. I will never, ever, ever forget this, and I treasure it. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Now, I think y'all can go sit down. Whew. Okay, back to your program. I think. See, they never got me before. Y'all don't even understand. I'm the one that usually turns it on people. I'm the one that surprises people. And they wanted to have this on record, on tape, on video, on digital, Hosea crying, so Steve can play it every year, year after year after year. And you guys are living witnesses. I thank you so much for, I call it an indulgence, if you will, of allowing us to celebrate each other, because we never know who may not wake up tomorrow. And we are so blessed and fortunate. And I proudly proclaim my faith. We are blessed to be here today and blessed to live in the country that we do. And to have the people who love us and share with us and share accolades with us. Let me tell you about the BBB, if you will. I want to treat after 2 years virtually to once again see all of these beautiful faces in the room. We're grateful to everyone who contributed to making this event possible. Special thank you to our judges, to our winners, to our incredible promotional partners, board members, the entire community of BBB accredited businesses, and the Kleenex people, if I could find them. I got something in here. Yeah, this should have done that to the old man. I'm on these hormones too, so on top of everything else, everything is hitting hard. Tissue, please, anything? Okay, as I continue on, before we announce that, thank you, Steve, appreciate it, sir. Excuse me, y'all, I'm just, verklempt. Before we announce our 2022 Torch Award winners, I'd like to take a moment to have the audience recognize, please, our 2020 and our 2021 Torch Award winners. These companies were honored at those virtual broadcasts that Steve and I hobbled together. I think Steve planned that. He didn't want to be in the same room with me, so he was in his office, I was at the studio, and we tied this virtual thing together. And I think, Steve, that was the best one, wasn't it? Sure, that's true. But we made it work, These companies were honored at the virtual broadcast, and we'd like to give them an opportunity today to join us on stage for a photo, since we have all gathered together in this temple of goodness and ethics for a great picture. So the winners from 2020 and 2021, please make your way up here for a quick photo, if you will. We got to commemorate the moment that we are all once again under the same tent. Got it? But you guys come on up. Mike. Yeah, got him. We got Mike Bacher from Dutchman Heating and Cooling. Robert Dermott from Kinsale Contracting Group. Thank you so much. Rebecca Fife from Landmark Pest Control. Laura Leanne Williams from Laura Leanne Design Studios. And Matt Stock from U.S. Waterproofing. Daniel Rehall from Vision to Voice. And Paul Carlisle, once again, from Wintrust. Everybody, please give our virtual winners from 2020 and 2021 a warm round of applause, everybody. Okay, this is going to fall. What a beautiful group. Let's give them all a round of applause. They didn't get to get up and make their speeches last 2 years like most other people have, so I want to give them their flowers as well. We're going to move on now and present our award winners from this year. You know, there are many awards from award winners from previous years who are also here on stage in the room with us today. Would all previous Torch Award winners please stand? All previous Torch Award winners stand. There are some good people, good companies, representing good people throughout our area, and we salute you. Get on up, peoples. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you for making integrity and ethics important cornerstones in each of your organizations. And I'm always so happy when I see in your advertisement Better Business Bureau Torch Award winner, because I know we're dealing with the best. No fraud, no fake, no scam. We don't have to have an I-team all on that, because these are the real deal people, and it means a whole lot. And you'll be surprised, the people in the community know that too, Steve. You know, they look for that. And so you should be so proud. I know the process is deep that you have to go through to even qualify for this award. For you to get the Torch Award, that is something else, something special. It sets you apart, sets you way, way, way above the rest of our already outstanding business community. So you all are to be saluted, supported, and celebrated. Once again. And with that, I know you've all been waiting patiently, very patiently today. So let's kick off the 2022 Torch Awards. We have 8 Chicago Region Torch winners and 3 Rockford Region Torch winners. So let's show them our Chicago Region winners. And our Firestarter Award, here to pass the torch, is last year's Firestarter Award winner, Laura Leanne Williams from Laura Leanne Design Studio. Laura.
Hosea. We're so honored and thankful and blessed to have been the last year's recipient for the Firestarter Award. And we just want to say thank you so much to everyone, and this has given us the confidence as we grow our family business. And so we're so excited to pass the torch again this year. And this year's Firestarter Award winner is Engage Wealth Group. Please join me in welcoming Chief Engagement Officer Ed Jertson. Congratulations, Ed.
Thank you so much.
It is truly an honor to stand before you today to accept the Firestarter Award on behalf of the Engage Wealth team, because without my team, none of this would have happened. We want to thank the Torch Award Committee and the Better Business Bureau for all their efforts today and every day in what they do in the great work on all of our behalf. Like many of you, we aspire to have a positive impact on all of those we engage with. It is a privilege for us to walk side by side with our clients through their life's journey. It is our calling to provide essential financial literacy and education outreach with our community partners. The BBB team shared that Engage Wealth was the first wealth management and financial planning team honored with this prestigious award. It is our sincere hope that other firms like ours join the BBB, embrace the mission and vision, and strive to uphold the extraordinary ethical standards of trust and conduct with their clients and the community. In closing, I would like to dedicate this award to my late father-in-law, George Beslow. You see, my father-in-law was rather short in stature, but as a successful businessman, when he stood on his wallet, he was very tall. Yet, he looked down on no one. He treated the busboy with the same respect and dignity as the maitre d'. This had left an indelible impression on me, and words cannot express how much we miss him. So on behalf of the Engage Wealth team, we are humbled by this recognition. Thank you.
Congratulations, Ed. I want to just let you know that what the Firestarter Award is all about. Chicago, of course, as you know, is the home to many startups and business incubators, which makes that award so very, very exciting. It is exclusively for newer businesses that have been operating for 1 to 3 years. After that, organizations can become eligible for the Standard Torch Award. So these are the new guys, and they're doing it right from the very beginning. So congratulations once again to Ed and Engage. All right, now, our next award category is a category that first premiered just a few years ago. You'll like this one. It is called the Women-Owned and Operated category. And I'm proud to present this year's winner, the Jupiter's Center, the 2022 Torch Award in the Women-Owned and Operated category. Accepting the award we have here today, Dr. Margot Zacco, the Center's founder and Chief Care Officer.
Well, thank you, everyone. And Jose, thank you. It's the Juniper Center, like the tree. We get called the Jupiter Center all the time. It's not the planet, it's the tree. But thank you. So what a moving tribute to you. And that call out to continue to be that light really struck me. And I think for all of us who get to be here, and I'm so honored to be the recipient of this award as a woman who's owner of a business and as a mental health practitioner, I'm so appreciative. Thank you to the committee for honoring mental health and a business that's trying to care for the people who are struggling right now. Obviously, the values that the Better Business Bureau espouses are so near and dear and very much appreciated. So, as we know, we are in the midst of a mental health crisis. Is that news to anyone? No, we are in a mental health crisis. And so the mission that we have been on at our practice is to bring really good care to as many people as we can. We have a nice mission statement like everybody does. You know, it's helping people live their best lives, right? My personal goal is to get really good care to the masses. That's what we're after. So that community involvement is so important, making sure people get the care that they need. So a huge thank you to my team, to my wife Beth, to my family, to everyone who works with us, who makes all of this happen every day so that we can provide good care to those who really need it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Margot. See, I blame that on the medication. Told you, if I mess up anything, I got a built-in excuse. Congratulations to the Juniper Center. We really appreciate all the good work that you are doing. Steve did that to me. I was thinking Jupiter because, you know, I'm in another world right now. You know, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it up here right now. Now, our next award category is Minority Owned and Operated. Passing the torch today, we have last year's recipient, Daniel Rehal, who president of Vision to Voice Healthcare Communications. Please help me to welcome Daniel.
Thank you, Jose. And I want to thank the Better Business Bureau for building a platform for all of us to look inward. And it's a platform for us to become the best versions of ourselves as people, as leaders, as employers. This is about intentionality. As leaders, we talk about this. We have to be intentional. And being intentional on helping to grow and develop our people is the solution. You want to know how to make your employees happy? You want to know how to make your customers happy? Help your people grow. It's what we've talked about the entire day today. It's been the theme. Keep doing that. Keep helping them grow. Why is that? Because what does growth lead to? Growth leads to giving. Growth leads to giving. Growth leads to giving, and giving leads to service, and service leads to fulfillment and happiness. And with that said, I'm really honored to be here today to present this year's minority-owned and operated business. The winner is Midwest Moving and Storage. So please join me in welcoming Luis Toledo, President and CEO.
Good afternoon. I'm going to try to do this without my eyes. Extra eyes. I'm truly honored with this award. It's just something that I've always strived for over 40 years. I want to thank Steve, the BBB organization, the judges, and of course I want to thank my team. The Midwest team I could never have done it without them. At the age of 18, I started in the moving business right out of high school. And I quickly learned that one of the most top 3 stressful things in a person's life is moving. Nobody likes to do it. And so when I was 23, I set out to start Midwest Moving and Storage. And I tried to have a good quality service where people had belief in me and trust in me. And after 40 years, we've finally been recognized for that, and we're really pleased. So I could have never, again, accomplished this without any of my people and my staff. And I'm really, really honored. And Midwest Moving is a company in the future that you can trust, because I know everybody in here is going to make a move someday. Thank you very much. You got to be a mover to carry this thing.
See, I told you. It's droppable, very droppable. Google that. You'll know the ones who don't know. One year I dropped the whole thing and it fell apart, and it read over and over on our morning news show. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. That was Doug, wasn't it? Was it Doug? Yeah. Our morning news show on a loop, continuous loop. I didn't know it was a box and an award, so it came apart. So they don't let me touch them anymore. So that was a great group of winners. Let's give these first award winners a round of applause, please. I want to give my personal and heartfelt congratulations to Ed, Margot, and Louise, and all of your respective staff members for the terrific job that you continue to do. Before we move to our next set of winners based primarily on company size, we have an extra treat for you. A very short video of one of the winners, a brave and special young lady from Phoenix, Arizona. This is Miss Mimi Harris we're going to see. Mimi was honored by the Phoenix BBB with a sports scholarship and gained national media attention for her integrity and dedication and for simply doing the right things. Please pay attention to this clip telling Mimi's story.
A teen volleyball player is being praised for her honesty on the court, even though it cost her team the game.
Steve Nielsen has that story.
Mimi Harris just graduated high school, and here she is throwing out the first pitch at a D-backs game, a reward for a decision many wouldn't have made. The star Mountain Point volleyball player was playing in a tournament with her club team when the final point came down to a bad call. Her team won, but Mimi knew they shouldn't have. The ball fell in, not out.
Hi, my name is Mimi Harris. I am currently a freshman at Alabama State University, and I also play volleyball there. My freshman year in high school, there was a volleyball game where the referee thought the ball landed out, but actually landed in. So he called it out, which caused us to get a point. And then I went up to him and I told him the ball was really in and it wasn't out and the point shouldn't be ours, it should go to the other team. So that changed the score from being 14-14 to 15-14. So instead of being tied, the other team was now up 1, and then they got the point after that, so they won the game. And the game outcome could have been a little different, maybe if I didn't tell the ref what happened, but I knew that I had to tell him what happened and the truth, just because I know in my heart that that's what I have to do when I was raised, to be able to tell the truth. One of my mentors, she saw a scholarship for ethics, and she remembered this game that I played, and then she nominated me for this scholarship from the Better Business Bureau in Phoenix, Arizona. And that was when it all started, and I got an award from that. And then after that, other interviews just kept rolling in. It's been a lot of positive attention, but I really appreciate everyone just congratulating me and just telling me how great it is to have character like this, even though it would have been nice to win that game, but the character matters more. And the fact that other people support me in that statement also is something that I really love. But my story involves sports, and I think you guys all did with business. So what I want you to take away from the story is that ethics and integrity can be instilled in all of us. And that can translate into working with your customers, making sure that you're always looking out for their best needs and what the customer wants, and just always having everything go into a positive spiral. And that's just the way to go. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you guys, and also the opportunity to meet with the Better Business Bureau, and go Hornets.
All right. How beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? A round of applause for Mimi. Now, I got a special treat to let you know that she understood the assignment. Everybody witnessed a beautiful lesson from that young lady. Her proud mother, Bree, is actually watching the live stream footage, and she instilled this beautiful heart, beautiful spirit, beautiful soul in her daughter, and the knowledge that when you do the right thing, you never, ever lose. So let's give Mimi and her mom a nice round of long-distance applause. So I know everybody's eager to find out now who our next winners are, so let's get right to it. But first, we'd like to remind our 2022 winners to stick around for some additional photos after the ceremonies. of course, in the ballroom foyer. Now, the 2022 Torch Award for 1 to 9 employees in that category. This year's winner is Veterans White Glove Cleaning Services. And accepting that award we have with us today, the owner, Robert Mills. Please welcome Robert to the stage.
First, I want to say, you are my brother, I am yours, because I heard you give God glory, so you must be in his family.
All right.
So I'm adopted in his family also.
All right. Come on.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The only reason I'm up here is because of God. I have a relationship with God. The most important thing that anyone in this room or anyone listening can do is have a relationship with Jesus. In the Word of God, it says that we do not work for people. We work for God. So I have a couple of things I want to read, and afterwards, if anybody wants to talk to me more about what I have to read, I'll be here and be willing to speak with you. In the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verses 23 and 24, God's living word says, whatever you do, work at it from your soul, as for the Lord and not for people, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the inheritance as your reward, because you are serving Jesus. And then in the book of Matthew, chapter 19, verses 23 through 26, God's living word says, then Jesus said to his disciples, amen, I tell you, it is hard for a rich person to enter the kingdom of heaven. Again, I tell you, it is easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than for a rich person to enter the kingdom of heaven. When the disciples heard this, they were utterly astonished and said, then who can be saved? And Jesus said to them, with man, it's impossible, but with God, all things are possible. Heavenly Father, I'm standing here because I work for you. And you gave us breath this morning because you breathed in each person here. Ultimately, we have to glorify you. And Father God, I'm reminded that I depend on you for everything. Forgive me for the times I think I own anything. We are all so quick to point the finger and judge things from our own point of view. The things that we say, the trouble it makes, it hurts you and it hurts me too. This is such a fallen world we live in. It's really not the way it's supposed to be. What if we could see each other differently? It probably would change everything. We are broken people. Don't we all need Jesus? Every moment of our lives, all humans are equal. Don't we all have our own weaknesses? Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody needs the grace of Jesus. We all need Jesus. Don't we all need Jesus? Everybody needs a Savior, even the ones that think they don't. We all have stuff we hide deep down inside. There's so much that we don't show. Yes, it's just the wounded world we live in. It's really not the way it's supposed to be. Isn't that the beauty of redemption? It changes everything. We are all broken people. We all need Jesus. Don't we all need Jesus? From the beggar to the rich man, from the prisoner to the preacher. All I know is we all need Jesus, and I hope that everyone who hears this prayer and these truths realizes that they also need Jesus. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Thank you, brother.
Well, let the ballroom say amen. And you'll notice that we got a collection plate coming around here. So, y'all didn't know you're coming to church up in here today, right? Congratulations, Robert. I like that. Steve, you hear that part? We all make mistakes. Some of us more than others. All right, congratulations once again. Our next award is the 10 to 49 employee category. Please join me in congratulating the 2022 Torch Award winner in this category. Welcome DuPage Cremations and Funeral Chapel Services. Accepting the award for them today, the president, Alice Cabanara.
Wow, this is really a humbling experience. I guess the one thing I wanted to say was I could not do this. This award is not for me. It's for my staff and my family. I'm lucky enough to have my mom, who was my fire starter back in 1996. Without her support, couldn't be able to do it. My wife, obviously you all know what I do for a living. With that comes sacrifice. My staff, 2 members are here. One has been with me for going on 14 years. The missed holidays, the missed sleep, the missed family events, everything that we've done to help people in the darkest times of their lives. Through the years, we've developed a mission statement. Our family is proud to serve yours. And that, like I said, with that comes sacrifice. This is really an honor, and wouldn't change it for the world, change anything for the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Take a quick picture.
Congratulations to Alex. Hope not to see you anytime soon. You're a good man, but bye-bye. Okay, our next award is the 50 to 99 employee category. Passing the torch, we have with us last year's winner in this category, Robert Dermott from Kinsale Contracting Group. Here's Robert.
Good afternoon and thank you. It's a lot different than doing it in Zoom as it was last year. It's better this way. We've been in business for 22 years, and most of that time we've been a BBB member. It is an honor to be part of this group, and the fact that we were honored last year was phenomenal. Our employees are the biggest recipients of this. We can't do anything without our employees. We greatly appreciate that. I am proud to present the 2022 Torch Award in the 50 to 99 employees category to Pulse Technology. Accepting the award today is Chip Maselli, their CEO. Congratulations, Chip.
So I'm sure you're thinking, she doesn't look like any Chip I've ever met. And you would be correct. I'm Nicole Maselli, and I'll be accepting the award on behalf of my father, Chip, and all of Pulse Technology. We would like to thank the BBB for recognizing us as the recipient of the 2022 Torch Award. It is truly humbling to receive such a prestigious honor. As a family-owned and operated business, accepting this award truly means a lot. As a company, Pulse Technology strives to ensure that we are operating at the highest level of transparency for our partners, our employees, and our community. On behalf of the Pulse team, we would like to congratulate all of the other award winners who are here this afternoon. As longtime members of the BBB, we see firsthand the good work that they do in advocating for businesses here in the greater Chicago area. We greatly appreciate your efforts and for recognizing us today.
Congratulations to Pulse. And she co-signed on how heavy that thing is. And I'm going to co-sign on the fact that menopause ain't no joke. I got some hot flashes happening up here. Woo! Ladies, doing this hormone suppressant thing. So if that was part of the reason why, I mean, I love y'all and everything, but these hormonal things, it just hits you real hard. But I'm watching a dog food commercial the other day, and it's like my boo-hooing, and my dog's looking at me like I'm crazy. So it is no joke. So forgive me for that. It's a little hard. And it's the third time I had to do this. So you think I would know what I'm doing. I don't plan to be no expert on menopausal symptoms, but but just ask me. Anyway, congratulations once again to everybody over at Pulse Technology. Our last Chicago Region Torch Award is the 100 to 499 employee category. Passing the torch is last year's winner, Matt Stock from U.S. Waterproofing. Matt?
Thank you, Hosea, and we really wish you a speedy recovery. I truly appreciate the opportunity to be recognized now a second time for winning the Torch Award. Last year was virtual, and it's nice to do it again this year in person. And what I'm more honored for is to present to you this year's Torch Award winner. While this year's winner does banking, and U.S. Waterproofing is best known for waterproofing basements, as service businesses, both of us are really in the people business. What I mean by that is we believe in order to take good care of your customers, you really have to take great care of your employees. So without further ado, I'd like to announce this year's winner, which is Liberty Bank for Savings. Accepting the award is Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer, Timothy Spiegel. Congratulations, Timothy.
Thank you. On behalf of Liberty Bank for Savings, I'm truly honored to accept the 2022 Torch Award. For nearly 125 years, a primary focus of our institution has been focused on servicing our customers both fairly and ethically. For as long as I can remember, a tagline of the organization has been trust and integrity since 1898. These founding principles have allowed us to support our community's financial health and also our customers. I can't think of anything that represents these values better than receiving this award today. I'd like to thank the Better Business Bureau for recognizing our efforts to our community. I'd like to thank our employees for ensuring are meeting these values every day for our community and also every interaction with our customer. And most importantly, I'd like to thank our customers and our community. Without them, we really wouldn't be here today. So thank you.
Congratulations. Once again, way to go, Timothy, and everybody over at Liberty Bank and Savings. The way you run business actually truly inspires all of us. And congratulations to all 7 of our Chicago Region Torch Award winners. Let's give them all a round of applause, if you will. As you all know, these are people who are doing things the right way. We salute you, we recognize you, and we honor you for doing the good work and doing it in the right way. Before I hand it over to Dennis Horton, who's the director of the Rockford BBB, to hand out 3 awards for the Rockford region winners, I just want to say, actually, what a pleasure it has been to be here with you to MC this great event. a greater pleasure than I even anticipated. I love being here. This is one thing that I will do, even if I have to crawl down the expressway to get here, because I truly believe in your mission. I believe in the people here in this audience, the people who make up the business community here in the city of Chicago and our Chicago region. And I truly believe in the great work that Steve and the BBB are doing. I have learned so much from this man, especially when we had him on our morning newscast. Steve would come on a regular segment and expose scams and tell us how to look out and protect our money, protect our family, protect our health and our wealth, if we had any. And all my job was simply to do is say, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And I learned so much from that, and I learned to listen when this man talks and when this organization works, because they are indeed working for all of us. So congratulations once again for the Chicago Better Business Bureau for keeping them honest, as we say, and congratulations to all of our Torch Award winners. How great to see all these smiling faces. Thank you for everybody. I know past performance is any guarantee of future success. I know you all are going to continue to thrive, to strive, and to make everything come alive here in Chicago. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for all the good work you do, and blessings to everyone here today. Thank you so much.
I want to say thank you to Hosea as well, because I've gone through the same treatment, and those hot flashes are like hellfire.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me, sorry.
Oh. No, it is a tough thing that you're going through, and bless you for being here today. Good afternoon, everyone. I have been with the BBB family now for 21 years, and it has been 21 of the always, nearly, except for Dave Benke, perfect years. A little history about the Rockford office. It opened 34 years ago when the president of the Rockford Area Chamber of Commerce contacted the Chicago BBB because they didn't have the capacity for handling consumer issues. Most of that was about the volume of complaints, nor were they very proficient at providing marketplace information. Who were the good guys? Who were the bad guys? So they came to us. Steve was there when the doors opened, and he won't go away. Along with him was a very special person, Marianne Wixom, who passed away in 2017. Marianne was the BBB. In fact, her license plate was BBB 2222, which was the office phone number. I want to thank them both for the foundation that they laid for the success of the Rockford office and for our future growth. Today is very special. We held what was the inaugural Rockford Regional Torch Awards in 2017. For the past 5 years, it has been a standalone event. After consideration of the duplication of efforts, and with the blessing of the Rockford Advisory Board, the decision was made to fold the Rockford event into this luncheon today. I want to thank the Advisory Board for their support, and again, the judges for the Rockford Awards. And Jose, again, thank you for emceeing today. And now I am proud to present our first Rockford Region Award for the Minority-Owned and Operated category. Please help me welcome our 2022 winner to the stage, Busy Bees Home Daycare. Today we have with us the owner, Monica Kennard. Congratulations, Monica.
First of all, I want to say thanks to the judges, because I was like, oh my God, we won. It's a home daycare, so that's like the best. That's really important right now in business for young moms. This award is also, it's so much to me, but it's for the young moms of Rockford, the teen moms, moms that grew up and really needed daycare, and I opened a business just for them, and they made it a success. And I love them. to this day. So I would like to thank Dennis Horton, the Better Business Bureau, Wintrust, and of course the judges. Home is the place to be. Thank you.
And now, for our, that's not right. That's why I used to be in media, and I needed a teleprompter. Next year, the second Rockford Region Award is for the category 1 to 19 employees. Everyone put your hands together for the winner in this category, Iverson Painting. With us today is the owner of Iverson Painting, Paul Iverson.
Hi everyone, I'm Paul Iverson from Iverson Painting over in Rockford. I'd like to thank the BBB for this prestigious award, and it's a beautiful award too, so thank you. From the first day that we picked up a paintbrush on June 9th of 1986, our company philosophy has been to treat all of our clients with dignity, honor, and respect. It's been a winning formula for us. We've got a client list of over 9,000 people, and we're now doing second-generation work. None of that could happen without our fantastic team. So I'd like to thank our management team. I'd like to thank our phenomenal crew who are out in the field every single day living our company philosophy. Without them, this absolutely wouldn't be possible. They help us achieve our goal of applying quality and building relationships for 36 years. I'd also like to thank our vendors, and I'd especially like to thank our clients who trust us in their homes every single day. Thank you.
Congratulations, Paul. And now for our third and final award of the afternoon. This year's Rockford Region winner in the 20 to 49 employee category is Assets Biz Corp. Please give a warm welcome to Mike Thoreau. Congratulations, Mike.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and I want to thank and take this opportunity, first and foremost, to thank the Better Business Bureau for selecting us for this very prestigious award. It is an absolute privilege and honor to be recognized for this achievement. Secondly, I'm proud to dedicate this award, and it's been stated many times today, to our entire team at Assets Biz Corporation. The only way any company can achieve an award of this magnitude is through the combined efforts of all of our dedicated team members. And I also want to thank my family, who was there in the beginning 22 years ago when we started the business. My wife, Carol, that couldn't be here today, but's been by my side for 48 years. My son Chris, who is here today, and my daughter Courtney. They were instrumental in getting Assets Biz off the ground in the beginning and enduring the many challenges that upstart companies have to be faced with when they start anew. I especially want to thank my son Chris because he took the initiative to apply for this award. As he often does, he takes the initiatives on a lot of things, and he made a very good, convincing presentation. So Chris, you're back there if you stand up. Thank you very much, and thank you all.
Congratulations, Mike, and again to your team at Assets Biz Corp. We want to applaud all of our new winners and thank all of our wonderful sponsors for making the 2022 Torch Awards for Ethics a resounding success. We also urge everyone in the room today to nominate a company or your own company for a Torch Award next year. Also, a big thank you to our live stream viewers for tuning in and all the support you've shown, the Chicago and Northern Illinois business communities. We send you best wishes for a healthy and successful 2023. Steve?
Again, thank you. Congratulations to all of our winners. And Jose, I cannot thank you enough. My brother from another mother, what a wonderful tribute to you. Thank you for everything. This is his 15th year he's been emceeing for us. And to the ABC 7 family, thank you so much for coming out today. We greatly appreciate it.